Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto. Thank you guys for joining me on this beautiful Monday because we have a lot to talk about. In the title, we have the idea that Gala could potentially 20 times by 2025. Plus, there's been some big news regarding Grayscale and Blackrock. Plus, we have some exciting news about XRPL. And yes, we'll talk about some Solana and some other things. So first off, shout out to Mr. Bootyhead, to Little D, and to Mr. R. And as most of you know, I am a Gala holder. I run 3 founders nodes, I run 3 music nodes, and I've got a big moon bag. So I want to know if you are holding Gala. I've got a poll on the top. I'm extremely curious. And again, there's just a lot of news happening today, not like direct news, but there's exciting things. And when we actually just take a quick look at the altcoins, you can see clearly everything is up, everything is exciting. This is on the week. So even though we just started, which yes, I know we just started, we still are seeing a lot of green. And this is good. This is positive. WIF is down, ton is down, render is down, wild is down. A couple things are down, but nothing too terribly bad. Everything is up for the most part. And Phantom, FTM, which again, I thought that they were not going to do anything. But once Andre came back, it was like, okay, here we go. So a lot of people are buying that. It seems to be extremely popular. Plus Solana is up again. And there's a lot of talk about Solana versus Ethereum. And I think that stuff is kind of ridiculous because, you know, both projects have their problems. Both projects have their issues. And at one point I was kind of doubting Solana just because there was so much VC money in it, primarily from FTX and the whole entire FTX debacle. I held my moon bag throughout the entire bear market, but at the same time, I wasn't really interested in adding more. And maybe that was a mistake on my end, but that's okay. The reason why I didn't consider adding more is because I had already had some exposure. And I had a justified reason because in my trading and investing journal, I had for my fundamental news, you know, the whole FTX thing. So we didn't really know what was going to happen. When you have these massive court cases going on, you do not know what is going to be the outcome. And again, I still have a lot of unknowns. I do believe that because of the bankruptcy, there's going to be a time where they're going to have to sell some. Somebody had bid on it and that had executed already. However, I don't think that's going to impact the market negatively because it was done. It's going to be done OTC. And I do believe the people with the big pockets that are going to be buying this stuff, there's really no need for them to dump directly on the open market. Will they be taking profit? Maybe. But at the same time, it's something to pay attention to. And I think that there's a healthy medium in the industry to have different sectors of your portfolio designated. Like you want to hold X amount of Bitcoin, you want to hold X amount of layer ones, X amount of meme coins, blue chip projects, whatever that may be, whatever makes sense for you. And just because you're not as bullish on something as somebody else doesn't mean that you've done bad. It just means you have your reasons. So I feel like it's important that we not sell shame people and we don't shame people for not being a part of a particular community because crypto is not about that. It's not supposed to be about that, but do whatever it is you are going to do. Only thing I'm going to ask you guys is to smash the like and to share this. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. And I appreciate every single one of you that is in here with me. And a popular request on TikTok was to see my screen. So now you guys can go ahead and see my screen moving forward. All right, let's go ahead and get into we'll do a quick, oh no, I got rid of it by accident. We're going to do a quick Bitcoin update. And then we'll start talking about Gala. We're going to talk about Solana, XRPL, all the exciting things that are kind of happening in the market. And again, Bitcoin is pumping. People are super excited. I'm super excited. Like I've got big old bags of Bitcoin. All right. So this was our chart that we did yesterday over here. And again, this was just like a silly little trend line that we drew. And of course, on the weekly, it doesn't look to scale because I was more concerned with the daily. And again, we had the swing wick high here, April 8th, over here, April 12th, and then down over here on May 6th. And again, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to be to scale, just as long as you understand how that means. I do have the Bollinger Bands up here. The reason why is because I like to use different indicators at different times. Bollinger Bands are a really great way to kind of gauge volatility. So if you like them, use them. And then a lot of these lines are here from yesterday when we analyzed the weekly. We talked about the open here at 61.5, the close here at 66. I had drew this line yesterday at 65.5 because that's where we're trading when I did the stream. Swing wick high to 67.6, and of course the swing wick low to approximately $61,000. Now, when we take a look at what happened, at what is happening, we finally got that breakout. Okay, and now we're starting to trade above this area of resistance at about $67,000. Now, taking a look at the daily, this area is important because we have the two daily swing wick highs on May 17th and May 18th, plus this price action over here from April 22nd to 24th, and then a couple other little bit of price action here when we topped up. We're essentially top-ish at about March 20th. So again, this is a pretty important area. On the daily, we are pinching the upper part of the Bollinger Band, but again, that is okay. You can continue to pinch on and on and on, but you will get a volatile pullback. And as you guys can see, that did occur over here around February 25th of 2024. Okay. And one thing I will say that I do like that looks bullish is the Bollinger Band simple moving average. It has this little upward tick here, which again is bullish. So today, I would just love to see us close above 67.6 and continue the bullish trajectory so that we get some excitement with alts and alts continue to go up. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what about meme coins? What about meme coins? Well, meme coins are a completely different beast. Those are extremely volatile. Those have a lot of potential for upside, but they also have a lot of potential for downside. And on Sundays, we generally go ahead and cover these on the channel just to kind of get an idea. Plus, it's fun for the communities, etc. So there's that. But just be cautious, pay attention to what you're doing, and have a good time. You should have a good time, why wouldn't you? All right, now let's go ahead and get into the first story regarding Gala because there's been some changes. So this is from Mr. Bitbender. All right, he's talking about two big games, and he's also talking about Gala Chain and the fact that all 85% of all traffic on IPFS is routing through the Founders Nodes network. I run Founders Nodes, and I've been running these guys for quite some time. So he is kind of, he's going to be stepping away from Gala, but isn't. So he is going to essentially be like, he's still an advisor there. Jason is still affiliated, but in a different capacity, which is good because, you know, sometimes in a lot of these organizations, especially in crypto, there's different things that occur and there's different things that take place and there's legal and there's all these different things. But I actually think that this is incredibly bullish for Gala because Jason is still, Bitbender is still a part of the ecosystem, but just in a different capacity. And to me, with a less, because a lot of crypto companies run like corporates, they do. There's a lot of Web 2 ideas there, which is totally fine. But what I think is super cool about this, I think that it is a more decentralized step for Gala as a whole long term. That's my personal opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I hold Gala. That is my honest opinion. Okay. So he also said that the Gala ecosystem is just getting started and mentions Gala Film and Music, which again, those are extremely important aspects when we talk about NFTs. Music and film, those are the arts. And those are some of the most predatory industries in the world, especially the music industry. And I can go on and on and on and on about that. And I do think that Gala is doing what they need to do to help decentralize that, to help give the power back to creators. I'm not talking about creators like me. I am talking about creators like musicians and writers and actual artists, not the 10,000 generative PFP pictures, okay? He also acknowledges poor marketing, but believes in the ecosystem's potential. And he announced a partnership with LFG Incorporated to onboard projects to Gala Chain. So basically what they did with Gala is they created their own chain. So it's kind of similar to, in very, very layman's terms, like a Solana or like any type of layer one. And they haven't really taken off yet, which is super cool. And which is why they had that swap way back when. So I think it's cool. I think it's exciting. And if they're going to be able to support all of these artists and creators and projects and games and all of these different aspects on Gala Chain, that's amazing. Like I've actually had projects that are considering building out on Gala Chain. That's the chain that they want to build on. And again, it's still in the very early stages. So this is actually pretty exciting. I'm excited about it. And I think it's interesting to see. And again, when we're talking about entrepreneurism is hard. Sometimes things work out and sometimes they fail. But hey, I'll take it. I will take it, and I will continue to hold my moon bag. So he emphasized on greater direct advisory support from external teams and projects within the Gala chain ecosystem. And LFG is committed to growing the Gala ecosystem when working closely with pioneers in Web3 to expand its reach. And again, I feel like this is a more decentralized aspect for Gala. And I like that. I think that is incredibly important. And yes, we will be talking about Grayscale and what actually is happening with that, because it's pretty interesting. Very, very, very interesting with Grayscale. So that's the news for Gala. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart with that. I'm curious to see if we've had any movement. Where? Here we go. Gala. Okay. This is the weekly chart. We'll go ahead and analyze that. Reset chart. So this is where Gala is trading right now. This is where she's trading right now. We did have a really nice move up to about 8 cents, and we're down about 50% back down to 4 cents. And again, I'm not planning on buying Gala anytime soon. I might consider if we drop back down to 1 cent. Right now, it's not necessarily looking like it's going to happen as we're consolidating nicely on the EMA 220. SMA 200. And on the daily, we're just kind of going sideways right now. We're operating within a range on the Bollinger Band. So to me, nothing too incredibly bullish. I think in order for price to really get a head start, is Gala Chain is going to have to put in the work, and we're going to have to see a lot of announcements and a lot of excitement over there. And again, I wish Jason the best. He's a great friend of mine, and I do believe in Gala long term. I really, really do, especially when we're talking about music and films. And thank you, Gamer. Thank you. I forget about that sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. Apologies. All right, now let's get into our next story about Grayscale, because this one is going to be incredibly interesting. Well, it's kind of... it's what I've been screaming about. So Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein steps down to be replaced by TradFi veteran. TradFi veteran is Peter Mintzberg, who is currently the head of strategy for asset and wealth management, Goldman Sachs, and previously before that, BlackRock. And there is some speculation that Grayscale will be sold. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the important pieces of information here. So the previous Grayscale CEO, Michael Sonnenschein, resigned. He was there for 10 years and became CEO in 2021 when Silbert stepped down. Silbert is the owner of Grayscale. Silbert also used to own CoinDesk and Genesis, and there was another, and DCG. And remember that whole entire DCG and all the, I believe it was Genesis, they got caught in the crypto contagion. And again, there's a lot of things regarding the FTX court case and with Ethereum and with all these things that we'll never know about. There's a lot of details that we will absolutely never know about. Now, why? I have no idea. There's a lot of, me personally, like I can sit and I can put my tinfoil tiara on all day long because I have reasons why I think a lot of this is happening. But at the same time, we're going to report on the news because my tangents are not always well taken in. But again, this is extremely interesting because we haven't heard too much about the Genesis debacle and the bankruptcies and that type of stuff. Everything seems to kind of be settling down to them for the most part. Okay. So Grayscale is one of the largest asset managers in the crypto industry with over 2 billion assets under management. And before Grayscale, Sonnenschein was a financial advisor at JP Morgan Securities. Oh, another one. JP Morgan and BlackRock and Goldman Sachs. Interesting. And basically, he covered high net worth individuals and institutions and an analyst at Barclays Wealth, providing coverage to middle market hedge. Peter Mintzberg will take over August 15, and he is currently the global head of strategy for assets and wealth management at Goldman Sachs. And he also worked for BlackRock and Open Hire Funds and oversaw Open Hire sales to Invesco in 2019. And again, there are some people that are speculating that there could be a potential sale of Grayscale, which again would make sense. Considering all of the things and interesting ideas that we have seen push out on X, And again, we don't know where a lot of the stuff, we were never going to know the truth about what really happened with the crypto contagion and bankruptcy. But again, these companies were a part of it. Even though they are sister companies of the actual company that was affiliated, there's still some sort of relation there. Also, too, May 7th is Grayscale's application for an Ethereum futures ETF, which is just 3 weeks before the SEC was forced to decide on it. And there have been billions in outflows from Grayscale's GPTC following the conversion to a Bitcoin spot ETF on Jan 16. Well, essentially, to convert that, they had to wind it down and then get everything sorted out. So I don't know. I feel like a sale might make sense. So essentially, these guys can get away. But again, you have to remember with traditional finance, people love to say, you know, crypto is bad, Bitcoin is bad, and traditional finance is the way. Well, if you notice, anytime there's a bankruptcy or there's some sort of catastrophic thing that happens with the banking industry or traditional finance in general, they just move people around. Which, do these people even deserve to have jobs after that point? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. I really, really don't. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next story, because there's a lot more to cover. A lot more to cover. All right. We got some people up in here. On my TikTok and on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys. Okay, here's the next one. All right. So the spot Ethereum ETFs will come down to a 5-person vote. Gensler, the decider. So it's speculated that Gensler's vote secured the launch of the Bitcoin spot ETFs in January, and the same 5 commissioners are set to vote on Ethereum ETFs this week. So again, this could be a massive week for Ethereum. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum price action and see, are we going to see any type of bullish price action? What is happening? Because we should, right? Ethereum is a completely different beast. So this is going to be the weekly chart. The trend line doesn't look good that way. We're actually getting ready to break out. That's what it's looking like to me with Ethereum and get above $3,200. One of the things I do see on the Bollinger Band is the upper cloud. We've got an upward tick here, and we're balancing above the SMA 200, and things are looking good. I would love to, for Ethereum, I just need to see a close above 3140 over here. All right, so let's go ahead and read some of the details of this story. So the SEC is going to vote on VanEck's spot Ethereum ETF on the 23rd. And again, we were talking about the futures ETFs for Ethereum, but that was May 7th. So it's completely different. Spot ETFs are more retail friendly because you're not guessing, and there's a lot less volatility and risk with that, in my personal opinion. The decision could be down to Gensler's vote, similar to the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And in January, the Bitcoin ETF approval saw a 3-2 vote, with Gensler being a deciding factor. Commissioners Hester Pierce and Mark Ueda are crypto-friendly and likely to support it, which that makes sense. Pierce supports decentralization, has criticized the SEC's approach to crypto, and Grenshaw, a critic of the crypto industry, voted against the spot Bitcoin ETF and has concerns about fraud and market manipulation, which is a very interesting idea that he has, or they have, considering that most of the fraud and manipulation happens within the stock market with hedge funds and with derivatives on derivatives on derivatives on derivatives, insurance, which is insurance on insurance, and all the other very interesting factors that we do see. So I understand their concern, but you know what? Maybe what we need to have is actually get votes from from American people, from American retail investors, and if that's what they want, let us have it. Anyways, though. Ueda has criticized the SEC's regulation by enforcement and expressed concerns over the SEC's decision-making process, but supported the Bitcoin ETFs for independent reasons. Lizarga opposed the Bitcoin spot ETF, believes most cryptocurrencies are subject to U.S. securities laws. And the interesting thing about it, which I don't want to keep harping on, but is like, if you think that it's subject to a securities law, then create laws and create guidance so we know what this stuff is. Because right now you're sitting on your behind, getting a check and doing absolutely nothing. Bloomberg analysts reduced the probability of a spot Ethereum ETF approval from 70 to 25% since January, which is primarily because of ongoing investigations into Ethereum's status as a security. Because remember, Consensus is now battling the SEC because the SEC, I believe, issued them a Wells notice on April 10th. And is it a security? Is it not? And plus, is MetaMask, is it a broker dealer? What is it? We don't know. We are just here. But let's go ahead and talk about some really exciting stats from XRPL, because this is awesome. So all you XRP community people, let's get into it. XRPL on-chain transactions jump 108% in Q1 of 2024, which is good. This means people are using the chain. This is what we like to see. So the activity increased 108% during Q1 of 2024, recording approximately 251.39 million transactions. The average transaction cost almost half, falling by 45%. The decrease in average cost per transaction indicated no network congestion during the quarter. So, affordable transactions with increased network activity. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, what's going on with XRP price action? Well, you guys, right now you're going to have to be patient, because XRP is just not moving in the direction many want us to. We broke below the trend line here on the weekly, and we're having a lot of trouble getting above it. We can continue to redraw this trend line as many times as you want. But right now, we're in a bit of a pickle. We are in an uptrend, essentially. The only way I'd say no, we're not in an uptrend anymore is if we retest about 27 cents, which I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. But, we're just, price action is moving a lot slower than what most people want. And that's okay. You're going to have to be patient because we're getting bullish news that's coming out. Like this story. Ripple publishes math proofs warning public key crypto systems should be replaced. So let's go ahead and talk about this story a little bit over here. Okay, this one is a little bit more complex, so I'm going to be reading from my awesome notes. So a professor discussed blockchain encryption and quantum computing with Ripple, and that quantum computers could break current encryption methods, risking blockchain security. And if you don't know what quantum computing is, it's a multidisciplinary field comprising aspects of computer science, physics, and mathematics that utilize quantum mechanics to solve complex problems faster than on classical computers. Q-Day is when quantum computers can break classical encryption, and this could impact crypto and blockchain. Again, for a while, I want to say it was back in 2020, people kept talking about quantum computing destroying Bitcoin. And yeah, that is a concern. But we don't know if it's a valid concern or not because we haven't seen it happen yet. The professor advises replacing classical public key crypto systems with quantum secure ones. Preparations for Q-Day are ongoing globally through no current quantum computer can perform such attacks yet. That's why I said we haven't seen that occur yet. People are trying, but it hasn't worked out yet. So I'm not concerned. But he does urge blockchain devs to collaborate with encryption experts. So if anyone's going to be leading the charge, it will be Ripple. Now let's go and talk about Solana. Let's go ahead and talk about Solana here. Okay. I'm just reading some of the stuff. Somebody says they're hoping for a Solana dump so that they can buy more. With Solana, just because there's so much hype, maybe just consider setting limits. So breaking, Phantom breaks into the top 3 utilities on the App Store in the US, which again, this is awesome. This is a story that took place over the weekend. And this means that people are actually downloading it and using it. And TikTok, are you using Phantom Wallet? Because they have a section for Ethereum and Matic, and it's a lot easier to use than MetaMask. So are you using Phantom Wallet? Is this you guys? Also, too, Solana-based Solflare wallet becomes the number 2 iOS App Store finance app in Nigeria, which makes sense because there's a lot of drama going on in Nigeria. You guys remember what happened with the Binance execs that got, not execs, but the security folks that got kind of stuck over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solana and see what we can see. All right, here we go. Solana is doing absolutely amazing. And again, this chart looks so much more bullish than Ethereum. So Solana is going to head back up and probably hit about $203. So if you're somebody that's like, what do? I missed out on Solana. I will show you what to do. Remove our drawing tools. We're going to go back here to the thingamabobber. So very easy, very, very easy thing to do. If you want to be a lazy trader like myself, you pull your fibs from top to the bottom. Okay, so you can do that. And it'll give you key areas where you can go ahead and set limits. I doubt we will see $7 again, even $70. If we saw $100, I would be surprised. But we have seen some price action over here at 134, which would be kind of minimum. I don't really see that playing out. And then 163, that does make sense again. So what I would do in this case, I would go from this swing wick high here, 210, and I'd probably pull it down to this swing wick low at about 119. And then I would just be setting limit orders all the way down because I feel like price might drop down in these areas. And also remember, some exchanges, they do have liquidity issues and you could essentially get dumped on. So that's how I would play it. Or if you feel like you're missing out on Solana, another thing you can do is called dollar cost averaging. That does work well for people. So you could either set limit orders and you can do dollar cost averaging, or you can do a combination of both, whatever works for you and your trading and investing style. So if you feel like you missed out on Solana, those are two ideas that you can use. I do think we'll see $700 to $1,000 Solana. I do. So you might want to consider picking some up. I am actually probably going to start doing dollar cost averaging with Solana, maybe like $200 a week every Friday at X time, just for fun. I want to eventually have, I don't know if I have enough as many Solanas as I have Ethereums, but we'll see. We'll have to figure it out. And wouldn't that be funny if it was Solana that actually hit $10,000 and not Ethereum? I think at least $1,000 this cycle, though, in my personal opinion. All right, let's get into the next story. All right, so we talked about the pump.fun thing that happened, which the story is freaking crazy. But pump.fun is a place where you can buy, sell, trade, create, do whatever you want to do with meme coins. And it's really popular. People like it. Well, apparently they got exploited last week, and this gentleman was arrested. Like, he stole $80 million and was a complete hot mess. He claims responsibility for 1.9 million exploit. I thought it was 80 million. Oh, he was charged with theft from employer for 2 million and conspiracy to steal an additional 80 million. Okay, he tried to steal 80 million, but only did 2 million. So they were able to locate him in London, and it wants citizens to file charges against a local company linked to pump.fun, which I think is kind of cuckoo, but yeah, I don't know. But anyways, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our channel partner today, iTrustCapital. Are you excited about the crypto bull run, but buying your crypto on a centralized exchange? Well, I hope you're reporting all of your crypto gains to the IRS because they want your taxes. That's right. When you buy and sell crypto on a centralized exchange, you need to pay the government taxes when you make profits. Sounds pretty taxing, right? Well, there's another way you can buy and sell crypto without worrying about taxes. But please go ahead and verify with your local tax professional first. At iTrustCapital, my partners, you can buy and sell crypto inside of a tax-advantaged crypto IRA. Crypto IRAs are retirement accounts that work similarly to an exchange, but with tax benefits. Let me give you a quick example. If you buy and sell crypto on a regular centralized exchange and make $20,000 in profit, you have to pay the government taxes. However, if you buy and sell in your Roth IRA and make $20,000 in profit, you don't need to pay any taxes. Yes, you heard me right. You get to keep all of your profits and not give the government any of your money. Opening a tax advantage IRA at iTrustCapital only takes a few minutes. You have 24/7 access to the markets with some of the lowest fees in the industry. And the crypto bull run is just getting started. And of course, people are starting to see their accounts go up. So take advantage of the tax benefits of an IRA at iTrustCapital and start maximizing your crypto investments today. All right, we are back. Apparently. Thank you guys so much for watching. But let's go ahead and get into the next story. And if you guys are interested in trying iTrustCapital, the link is going to be down below. I've used them in the past, and I like to save money on taxes, and that's how you save money on taxes, by grifting ethically. Also, to you guys, I have an events page, and I'm going to be going on tour with Blacklist Union this week. I leave Thursday. So if you want to come see me any of the dive bars they're playing at, I will be there because we love Music Men. We absolutely love Music Men. All right, now, also too, I'm going to be at Consensus. So that will be that over there. Oh, I got to switch screens again. Sorry, it happens. Hold on a second. Oh. Gamers sending me some alpha. But yeah, I'll be there. And also too, I'll be at Rare Evo. I highly recommend you guys go. It's in Vegas, and I will be at Consensus. So if you want to come see me at Consensus, I'll be at Karate Combat. I'm going to be speaking on stage. So make sure to come see me and say hi there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our next story over here, because I think we got one or two left. So this is going to be about FIT 21. So I don't know, should we cover that today? Crypto has shifted economic power from centralized institutions back into the hands of the people. So I don't know. Should we cover that? Should we not cover that? I don't know. Should we? Should we? Now, I'll go ahead and cover it later for you guys. But finally, I do want to discuss Roaring Kitty. Apparently, Roaring Kitty has left and posted his last video, and everybody is having an absolute meltdown over it. So basically, all he did is he posted a video on Friday with a song called Goodbye, and it shows part of the E.T. movie where E.T. goes home, and he hasn't posted since. The final tweet came the same day that GameStop filed to sell up to 45 million additional shares, which could increase the total number of shares by 15%. After his return last week and sending GME from $15 to $70, GME is now down to $21. So, I don't really have a lot to comment on this because I don't really do stocks. I understand why they were doing this. I understand what the movement was. But at the same time, I will leave you guys on this with this simple piece of advice. Do not blindly follow people. Do not. Just because somebody is doing something doesn't mean you need to follow them. You might not understand exactly what's happening or why it's happening. So if you don't, just stay away. And you need to always take profit. But on that note, I'm going to get going. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. And I will catch you guys tomorrow around 10 a.m. PST. Bye-bye.